you should get a lawyer because you're getting suspended. They started talking to me after my match to like undercover agents from ITIA. Mr. Fancutt, we need to talk to you. Panicking, so I have no clue what's going on. Download everything off my phone. My locker is next to Djokovic, Sinner, Zverev, top 10 players. I'm just walk past them. I'm just like, my whole world just tipped upside down. The extreme high to the extreme low that I experienced in 24 hours, I'll never experience again. Death threats. I'm going to come find you and kill you. Hope you break your arm. Hope you get COVID and die. Playing the Australian Open was one of the happiest moments of my career, my life, having my family down.
How's mental health through this day?
It was tough. A message from people saying embarrassment to Australia and an embarrassment to my family, and the thought of embarrassing my family kind of crushed me a bit. I was running on fumes and I was so fatigued. I'm in bed for like a week.
Didn't they offer you less off your sentence if you snitched on other players who you thought might be doping?
Yeah, and he was like,
welcome to Good Humans Podcast. Thomas Fancutt. How you going, brother?
good, man. Happy to be here finally.
I know we've been talking about this for a while, and
It's been in the works.
you've had a crazy. I mean, we have been mates since before. I guess the big thing that's kind of changed your life over the last couple of years, which we're going to really get into at the end of the episode. But we met, I guess, probably like 3 or 4 years ago. I think you sent me a DM after seeing like the work I was doing with the Good Human Factory, and we're like, hey, can I learn more? Is that right?
Yeah, some of your stuff came across like my Explore and I was just super interested in it. And then I thought, love what you're about. And then, yeah, DM slide.
DM slide. And then we just became mates. I have such a fascination with like young Aussie athletes in like all different sports. Obviously, myself growing up as a pro surfer, I went on my journey. But like tennis has been something that's always fascinated me. You know, we all watch the Oz Open, we watch all these, you know, Wimbledon, and it's such a huge sport. You hear about the prize money, you hear about all the glamour. But I'd never actually been friends with a pro tennis player. So when your DM came in, I was like, oh, this guy's interesting. And then I saw that you like played golf, and was the first time we played at the golf day?
I feel like that was the first time you gave me like a late little call up to the group
Yeah.
to play the out of body golf comp, the inaugural.
Yeah, so a few friends of mine had this big golf day, the out-of-body golf day down at Tweed Heads, and I think I had 2 people already in my team, and I needed one more player, and I was like, oh, who can I get? And I was like, oh, that guy Tom, I saw that he plays golf.
I think at the time I was spamming golf content as well
Yeah.
on my socials.
And I thought, yeah, come play. Like, it'd be cool to catch up. So he came and played. We actually took it out.
Yeah.
What's your memory of that day?
Man, it was so fun. Like a new environment. I basically didn't know anyone. And we like been talking, but like hadn't really met. And I mean, I love golf anyway. I love that atmosphere. So yeah, that was such a fun day. And then, yeah, Corey, Choco. And then winning that day was, yeah, I mean, it's one of like the best things in the last few years that I've experienced.
It was so much fun. And then ever since then, we've just kind of been mates and, you know, followed each other's journeys, caught up for a bit of golf. You still haven't taken me for a hit of tennis. We'll do that soon.
Yeah, it's been in the works. Like,
you put a hole through
Corey
me.
and Choco and me chasing me up as well.
The one thing that we all want to do with you, you're just like, no, let's go play golf. But anyway, man, it's great to have a chat today because, yeah, I'm excited to learn about your journey into professional tennis. You've just finished a 10-month doping ban, which I'm excited for you to get to share the story about that because people might hear that and be like, oh, this guy's a drug cheat. Definitely not. And it's crazy the consequences you had to face because of an honest mistake. But we're going to get into that later. So what I always ask the guests on my podcast is, what are you grateful for right now, today in life?
Oh, right now, I mean, I'm super grateful that my ban has been lifted and I have the opportunity to get back and compete, miss competing so much and, you know, playing a sport I love. So that's probably definitely what I'm very grateful for right now. And then just how supportive my friends and family have been on me, you know, having the chance to come back.
Absolutely. How old are you?
30, just about turned 31.
Okay. What would be the average age? Is it 30 about the prime sort of age when you're in tennis, or is it starting to get younger and younger?
I think like the average age of the top 100 is like 29.
Okay, so you're in your prime time. Epic.
Yeah.
Let's one more new question that I ask everyone. I'm keen to hear what you say to this one. So if you're only allowed to spend 14 minutes a day doing something that you know really works for your mental health, you know, say to your nervous system, clear your mind a little bit, what would you do?
It's a good one. One I've actually been very consistent with recently is like been getting up at 5:30 every morning, and I've been going down to Burleigh Beach, and I've been going for a morning dip and then journaling. That's been 15 minutes.
I've seen that. I fucking suck at journaling.
Man,
Someone else
sets my whole day up.
That's
like,
so cool.
Just clears the brain. If I want to do a brain dump and write some stuff down, cool. If I just want to like plan my day with training and gym, it's down. It's like out of my head. Answer some emails. I just feel like it sets up my whole day. And then it's like 6 o'clock.
That's cool. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, it's so cool to see like everyone answers that question differently, and it's like I always say like everything won't work for everyone, but something will work for everyone. So it's like so important to hear what works for different people. And like for me, I've tried journaling many times, and it just, I don't know, I like keeping it all up in my head.
Yeah.
I probably should get it out.
I used to be like that. I've been like for 4 or 5 years now with journaling, and it's I can't do anything else now.
Okay, I love that. Let's get to know your story now. I've hung out with you quite a bit, but never really got to know the backstory into your journey with tennis and too much about your upbringing. So let's go back to the start. Where'd you grow up? What was life like as a kid? But most importantly, when was tennis introduced to you?
So I grew up in Brisbane, and I come from a very big family in definitely in Brisbane, Queensland tennis, and then also Australia. I grew up on the Fancutt Tennis Centre, which was established by my grandparents. And I mean, I was playing tennis from basically when there's a photo of me like in one of those bouncers, and I'm literally holding a racket.
No
I'm like
way.
1 or 1.5. And then by the time I was 2, I could hit a serve over like a full net. So yeah, it was the way I saw it, like my mom explained it, was just everyone that I loved played tennis.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only place I wanted to be was on the tennis court.
Wow.
So, and lucky that, I mean, my family owned a tennis center, so I was always out there, and my uncles and my dad and mom would literally have to pull me off the court, screaming and crying. I was obsessed. I'd probably be like you with the water surfing. So
yeah, I didn't like to really get into surfing till I was like 8, but I was like nippers at like 5, like down in the ocean, like always watching my dad surf, and then surfing from about 7, 8. It was nice. They never really pushed me too much into it, but I can imagine for you started competing in a young age. What's your first memory of playing a competition as tennis, and did you win it?
Yeah, I think the first time I ever won, I won the under 12s when I was 6.
No way.
Yeah, and I think it was at like Hope Island, which like doesn't run anymore, but yeah, when my dad took me there, and yeah, I think I won the first time I played.
Wow, so you're a bit of a child prodigy. So you had a bit of talent from a young age. You obviously had a family around you that were coaches and had a tennis center. What was school like for you? When do you let's go to high school. Were you already like in a tennis program at school? Was that like, all right, I'm going to try and be a professional tennis player? How early in life were you like, that's what I want to do in life?
So start high school, I was at Gregory Terrace in Brisbane, and I was playing for the school team. I think in grade 8, I think I was in the Opens team, the first team. I wasn't that good yet though. I mean, I was decent for 13, but I wasn't, amazing. I wasn't world class. But like I was playing multiple sports, 12, 13. I was playing cricket, rugby, tennis, and kind of my family kind of sat me down, and they were like, look, if you want to be like pro, like top level, like it's now. You have to if you want to commit, like there's a pathway for you to make it, but you're all in now. And they told me that it was like the quickest yes ever. So I dropped everything, and I was full-fledged tennis from 13.
That was almost exactly me with surfing too. I was playing like rugby union at like rep level, and a few of the guys I played with are now playing in the NRL. And I kind of had the same thing. I had like a finals of, you read my book, you'd have heard this. So I had like the finals of the footy and the regional or state titles for the surfing, and like was running between the two. And after that, my dad was just like, pick one, and same thing. I was like, yeah, I'm going surfing.
Yeah.
So yeah, talk me, what did tennis look like for you at that age? Were you going, after school tennis training to the family thing? Like, were one of your family members coaching you? Like, yeah, what was your high school experience like from like a friendship point of view and what an academic, but more so, yeah, what was tennis like in that time of your life?
Yeah, so I was living at the Fancutt Tennis Centre, and
living at the tennis.
I was living at the tennis. There was a house. There's like a old Queenslander, and there was 3 tennis courts and a pro shop, and I was like living in the house. And
from 14,
from 13. 13.
Were your family living in the house?
So I had my grandparents had. It's actually the funniest setup. So I had like the Fancutt Tennis Centre like compound almost, and then out the front gate was 2 houses that connected to the tennis centre. My one uncle lived there, other uncle lived there, and then my grandparents and myself were here. And then there was also they had a live-in program for people who want to go to college or go pro from like Taiwan, Fiji, wherever. And they lived there, and these are like pros that I would train with from a young age. So I'm living in like a academy almost.
Yeah, wow.
And yeah, the days were because my family were very much like, you're going to school. That is, you're not going full time.
Yeah, mine was like until finish year 12.
100%. That was a non-negotiable, basically. So yeah, I just said yes. There was no real argument there. So from about 13, I had pretty much, and they were all tour players. my family. So my grandparents, my two uncles, my dad were all tour players.
What's tour player mean?
So they were all on the top tour.
Like in the top 100 in the world?
So I could literally go through all of them.
Go through a couple rankings of like your
Okay,
family. Who are you like? So you're
sweet.
following some big footsteps.
All right, we'll rattle it out. So I got my granddad was he won the Australian Open mixed doubles.
Wow.
So he's a Grand Slam champion. My granddad. My grandma, she lost in the final of Wimbledon doubles.
So you're second in Wimbledon.
Yeah, second in Wimbledon doubles. So she got the Wimbledon trophy. It was at Fancutt Tennis Centre somewhere. Yeah, she'll tell me she got like a coupon for making finals back then in the 50s. And then my uncle Mike was top 20 in the world for doubles. Made semis at Wimbledon doubles. And then my uncle Charlie was top 100 in the world for singles.
Wow. That's big.
He was my main coach.
Okay.
And so he was top 100 like 20. And
when he was 20?
When he was 20, he was top 100.
Yeah.
And his biggest win was he beat Ivan Lendl. If anyone knows tennis, Ivan Lendl was world number 1 and he was like favourite to win Wimbledon. And my uncle beat him first round.
Wow.
So he tells me that was like his 15 minutes of fame.
Sick.
Like it was insane. And then my dad he didn't get to those ranks, but he got into the mixed doubles at Wimbledon.
Wow. So you've got like some big. So you're getting to play the Oz Open last year.
So yeah,
your first major was a huge moment for you. Holy shit! I'm devoed to get back up to that part of the story.
Honestly, I was. So for me, I was the 6th member of my family to play a slam, and 3rd generation. So
That's cool.
It was such an achievement.
Do you have any cousins that play?
I have a cousin, Sammy, who's my uncle Mike's son. He's at college, like year 2 at college.
Okay.
So he's giving it a crack at college.
Sick.
Mm.
Cool. I'm keen to hear your story now. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah,
It really sets it up because I know what's coming in this story.
Yeah.
When it comes to your doping ban and far out, there must have been some crazy fucking guilt and shame and whatever you want to throw in there in the mix, emotions,
the whole bag
to go with that. So be warning, we're coming up to that. But talk me through sort of getting towards the end of high school because you had to finish school. Did you go to college? Is that like the path for tennis, or what's the goal path for tennis? Funding, like how high were you ranked sort of leaving high school?
So kind of leaving high school, I was in a position where my uncle Charlie, who was the good singles player, he was very anti-college because he thought it was career suicide. Because at the time, this is like 2013, at the time, a lot of good players were going to college and like the success rate was pretty low. Guys they were just burning out or they were getting injured and they were just dropping off.
Yeah.
And my uncle thought, I was good enough to go pro for sure, and he was pushing it. I didn't have the body yet to do.
Could have you got a full ride scholarship, you reckon?
I would have got a full ride, yeah. I had many offers and I actually verbally committed to a college, and then my uncle kind of talked me out of it. And but it was the pitches were hilarious. Like I was getting, these colleges were like, full ride, like the girls here are amazing, the party culture. I'm like, what about the program?
Yeah, tell me about the tennis program.
They're pitching like all this stuff, and then my uncle was like, see mate, that's what I'm telling you, like it's a trap. But
so
now it's the legitimate path.
Yeah. So what did you do? What was that next chapter when it came to training, work, making money, be sponsored? Like, because college, it's expensive to go to uni in Australia. Like, it's a big decision to say no.
So I finished school at 18, and then I was my family were working at different schools and coaching. So I did about 6 months of coaching, full out to save some money, and then had my first crack at a tournament. I qualified for a tournament in Toowoomba.
Like an ATP?
I qualified for
your first actual... Yeah, can you try and explain the tours a little bit? Because you would have been playing tournaments at school and like probably junior... Did you like play junior Australian titles and stuff at AO and stuff? Yeah, so my junior ranking at school, I got to 220 in the world maybe. In the world, okay. But I could only play in school holidays. So all these guys are having full junior schedules. Yeah, that are traveling. So I would have been top 100 if I had a schedule that was normal. So there's a junior world tour. Yeah. So I have junior Grand Slams, junior world tour. That's where you get the sponsorship. Okay. So I got a 220, which put me in Australian Open qualifying, and then I lost last round singles at the junior Australian Open qualies. Okay. So I was a bit gutted about that. But yeah, like decent junior career. It set me up, gave me exposure to what the players were like, how they were training, and then I feel like I wasn't that far off. Is there like Aussie titles of like
Yeah, they've got
Like under 18 Australian.
yeah, they got like
finals?
under 18 Australian Open. Sorry, like under 18s, like Australian champ, and they had like this December showdown at the end of the year
Yeah.
where all the best juniors would go 12s, 14s, 16s, 18s. Used to be super like big deal. So yeah, I never did 12s to 14s. My family thought that was a joke, and they weren't interested in that. But I played 16s. I lost to a good guy there. Played 18s the year that Kyrgios won 18s.
Oh, okay.
Because we're the same year. So yeah, I was like, oh man, like these guys are winning juniors, and then he won Aussie Open juniors, and then Thanasi as well was there, and
so
like,
they're like the two guys.
They were
they were the
guns.
two like top guys of the generation.
Yeah, I mean,
Oz,
they like kind of led the way for like my year and above.
Sick. So you finish school, you do your first 20. So what you have to like do for me, like surfing, there's like the ATP, but there's like the small level comps, like ATP 1000s, and they go up and you have to be in the world ranking high enough to get in, right?
Yeah. So I played all like the money tournament circuit in Australia, and that gives you like a national ranking. And then to get into the lower level tournaments, which are called like futures, and there's 25k futures and 15k futures. 15 is the lowest. You get in based on your world ATP ranking, your ITF ranking, and then national ranking if you have neither. So in Australia, because it's so far away, not a lot of internationals come because it's expensive and it's a big trip. So we kind of can filter into qualifying a bit.
Okay.
So I got into Toowoomba, I qualified, and that was awesome. Like I was still in school. Actually, I was still in school at that time. And qualify and playing a pro event. Like I draw the number 2 seed, which I remember I played Adam Feeney maybe, and he was like 210 or 215 in the world, and I got absolutely smoked. Like this is the biggest like okay, like this is the level.
Yeah.
And then I got my first. It took me 5 goes because to get a point you have to get into the main draw of a pro event. And then you have to win a match.
Okay.
So it took me my 5th go. I won that, and then I got on the board and Cairns. I won my first match in Cairns, and my world ranking was like 1800.
Okay.
And I was 19. And I was like, all right, this is where it all begins. This is the first time since then that I've been unranked.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. So talk me through that next, I guess, like 3 to 5 year period of finishing school. How are you funding? Like, because it's not cheap to travel to do these events. If it takes you 5 to even make points, I'm sure that probably took you 5 to make any money that was enough to pay for your like entry fee and travel probably. So yeah, what's that sort of 18 to 25 period of your life look like when it comes to tennis, travel, work, sponsorships? How tough is it to move up that ranking?
Yeah, tough. So I got the world ranking in 19, and I was coaching, I was playing money events to get money. And obviously I'm training full time, which is, takes 4 or 5 hours a day, and kind of juggling all that. But like I have to, there's tournaments in Australia, but I have to basically leave. But so I got my point in like September when I was 19, and then 20, there's the Australian ones. I was like, oh, it makes sense. I'm in Australia. I can play those. I got like I got 3 more points at a tournament. So that puts me at like 1300 or something. And I ended up beating a guy who was top 250.
Okay.
And then I kind of like established myself. I was like, oh, people kind of started recognizing that.
Where was that?
It was in Mildura on the grass. And then people started kind of taking notice that like I could actually play. And then that kind of gave me the courage. My family were like, look, we don't think you're good enough yet to travel overseas. You need to dominate Australia first before you leave.
Before it's worthy of.
And then getting that win, they were like, okay, yeah, we can see this working. My grandmother would give me little bits of money here and there whenever I was kind of in dire need. But I mean, I had a Westpac credit card, and I'd fly overseas sometimes with like $8 in my bank account, and I knew I had minus 3.6 to go, and I would just bank on prize money. And then I ended up, there was this whole thing about like you get your first point and then you got to break inside 1,000. That's kind of like the next milestone. And it seemed like such a big task that all these people were explaining to me. And then I went overseas and I got some results quick, and I was 800 like pretty quick. And I was like, oh, that wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. And then I had to come home because still 800 not making much money. So I had to go home, work, pay Westpac back.
And where are you like traveling for these events, and like what does it look like when you're going over for these events?
Yeah, so early on it was very much like Asia. Like I was going to kind of like Hong Kong, Japan, China, just anywhere that's kind of in the Asia region.
And talk me through like what a comp looks like. It's like, all right, there's a ATP 1000, and if you're in the top 1,000, is that what you're kind of doing, or no? It's still futures.
No. So
to get into one of those ATP ones, that's top 250 players in the world.
Yeah. So it goes like futures, which is kind of like your.
Just explain this for trying to.
Yeah.
Just trying to like wrap my head around. The scale.
Like kind of the levels. Yeah. So you got futures, challenges, tour events, slams. So tour event, the Masters 1000 you're talking about, that's the premier of the ATP.
Okay.
And the cuts are nails, really strong.
Yeah.
Actually, it's harder to get into 1,000 than it is to get into a Grand Slam.
Really?
Most of the time.
Because of
with cuts. The smaller draws.
Yeah.
Grand Slam is a big draw.
Yeah.
So futures wise, you're basically in futures for singles, you're in futures until you're 400.
Okay, so you've only played a few out of the futures kind of level.
Doubles, I had a full season on the Challenger Tour.
Okay, sick.
And I played a handful of ATP tour events.
Yeah. Were you playing a lot of doubles in your early 20s as well? I was
playing doubles at every tournament.
Okay, so you played doubles and singles.
Yeah.
How does that work with training to like build a relationship? Because you kind of play doubles with like a different person quite often. Hey, it's like
you mix and match at the start. At the start, I kind of just to cut costs and just have mates on tour. I would travel with my mates who were pros, and we would just go to the same tournaments and we just play together.
Well, that's super fun, just playing with your mates in doubles.
Epic, yeah. Playing like my best mates in doubles. I had two of my mates from Melbourne, Chanchai and Bealey. Bealey and I think we won something crazy, like maybe 16, 17 titles together.
Wow.
Yeah.
In that sort of the period of your early 20s.
Yeah, we always played together when we could, and we were a nasty team.
Sick. So you're going online, you're entering one of these events because your name's on the ranking, you can enter these futures events. You go to Hong Kong. Yeah, how many people's in an event? How long's the event? I just want to wrap my head around what a week looked like for you.
So if you're in the qualifying event, you're playing on Sunday.
Yeah.
So you got to be there Saturday. You got to sign in.
Yeah.
And then you're in the draw. You play Sunday, Monday, and then the main draw guys will play Tuesday, Wednesday split. They split half the draw and do Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah. So were you starting in the qualifying for a fair bit? How high ranking do you have to be not in the main draw?
So at that stage, I had maybe 3 points. I was like 1,400. I think I was getting like last in. That's why I might have left.
Yeah.
Because I knew I was in main draw. But usually the cuts are around 1,000 to 1,200.
Okay.
But if you're in a main draw.
So for your first couple of years, you're doing these qualifying weekend?
No. It wasn't long. I jumped pretty quick.
Oh, okay. So then you're usually starting on the Tuesday or Wednesday?
Yeah, because like I said, I was 800 pretty quick.
Okay.
And that was main draw for all the futures.
Okay.
So I didn't want to play qualies. Like there were 25K events. So if I was in qualies, I was like, I'd rather play main draw. Because also you get money. You get no money in qualies.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. You don't.
Expenses. I mean, it's not much, but like.
Yeah, you want to start in the main draw so you get your entry fee back, basically.
Yeah.
That was kind of similar to surfing.
Yeah. So I was kind of floating around 600, 700, and then.
Let's go through a week. So you get through. So quali, how many from qualifying is there, like 64 in the event?
Yeah. So they do 32 draws or 48 draws mostly. Okay. So like 48 means the seeds get a bye.
Yeah.
So you're playing most of the time. You're playing 3 matches to qualify. This is what was brutal. So and it is brutal in tennis. So these guys will get 3 matches to qualify. And, sometimes you're slogging it out in like Hong Kong heat.
So you have to work your way through 3 matches just to get into the main draw.
So let's say you play qualies. You play 3 tough matches or 3 matches or whatever.
And then you got to play a guy who's rested, who's seated higher than you. Yeah,
you play
so
me
it's hard
fresh.
to crack in. So
it's brutal.
So that's a slog at the start to start winning. But you had a pretty good run and did that pretty quickly, yeah?
I was lucky to jump that pretty quick because I got inside 1,000 quick.
Yeah, did you have any special results? Did you win anything? Or did you have any semis or finals?
I semied a tournament in Japan. I remember that what broke me into 1,000. I was like, oh shit.
And what money would you get for that?
You get taxed like 30%. I think I would have walked away with maybe like $600.
Okay, fuck.
500.
That's 500 at the start of your career, bro.
Well, that's what I'm going into now. But it's the expenses are higher and the
oh my god, that's gnarly. So you get third in like a big event that you have to win like 4 matches.
Yeah, at these 15K events, there's like 32 guys in the main draw, and then
what's
there's
the winner
32 guys in qualifiers.
Are you excited though to start now at the bottom and try and rip your way through these and be able to win some of those events?
Yeah, I'm so excited because also every win for me is a bonus because when you're on tour, you're chasing results from last year.
Yeah. Oh, so everything's just fresh.
So everything's fresh. Every win,
Yeah.
a result is on my ranking.
Yeah. So we'll get into that in a second.
But yeah,
now.
I'm super excited for that. Yeah.
So yeah, talk me through, I guess, 25 to 30, like you're working to try and support your career, but moving up. What was like a moment that's like a highlight for you in that sort of period up until you banned? Because you just got into the Oz Open in doubles, right? Yeah. So your career was on an amazing trajectory up until 18 months ago kind of thing.
Yeah. So around 25 would have been like nearly COVID time.
Well, it was last year's Oz Open, huh? Yeah. So
Oz Open was last year.
Oz Open's on right now.
Like, I'd say, yeah, probably the peak of my career at that time.
Okay, so yeah, let's talk about like the 2 years leading into that.
Okay. So about 2 or 3 years ago, I reached my career high in singles. I was 380 in the world and I got some great results. You know, I was at my best singles. I was pretty much top end of the futures level and I was in the challenges with the right schedule.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting injured. I hurt my wrist. Came home, rehabbed it because I was in a position where I had like 6 months of no results dropping off. So I was in a really good spot to potentially make that jump to Grand Slams, like with being top 220. And then I came back. I kind of rushed my wrist to come back and then I hurt my elbow. And then I actually had to sit down with my coach because all the points started to come off again. And he was like, man, I think right now there's an avenue in doubles where if you go full-time doubles, you're going to make some money. He's like, we know you're top 50 level. Singles at the moment, it's a bit murky. Like you could be top 200, but doubles, we know you're top 50 level. And so I kind of had a hard look in the mirror and I was like, you know what? Like I love playing doubles. I'm going to do that. So I went full-time doubles, started at I was 350. I usually always had a decent doubles ranking. So I was like 350 in the world. And then I went a full year of doubles. And that's when I ended the year 107 in the world.
And that's when you got into the
Aussie. And then I got into, the tour event in Adelaide before Aussie. And then I played Aussie and then, didn't play anymore.
I want to, before we get to that, I just want to talk about like that best year where you had your best singles ranking and you were playing good in doubles. What that looks like from a prize money and expenses point of view. Because from the outside looking in, your friends are like, oh, you're a pro tennis player traveling the world. But it's not that glamorous. So what's like what's the expenses of that year that you had your probably best year prize money wise, and what's like the prize money and sponsorship and income through that year?
Yeah, it's funny. Because my granddad always made me, he's like, you're a sole business. You need to keep your books, keep your expenses, keep your income, and keep track of it all. So I was very diligent at keeping all that. And that year, I added it up. I was like, this is my best year. Like I'm 380. Like, if you're top 400 in the world for singles, like you're legit.
You're a professional. You're legit. The thing about how many tennis players are in the world, and you're in the top 400.
Yeah, you're legit.
You're in a micro percent.
Yeah.
Of you're in the top 0.00001% of tennis players in the world. Like it's insane.
And I was like so locked in that I was keeping it all, but I wasn't really like flow charting or anything.
Yeah.
And I added it all up at the end, and I was negative like 15 grand.
Still.
And I'm like, how is this possible? Like I've had so many good results, but like pure prize money and expenses wise, I was minus 15.
Okay, prize money expenses. What about sponsorship? Not much really sponsorship on that.
I wasn't getting paid for sponsorship. I was getting free stuff. I wasn't getting paid.
Yeah.
That very much like the getting paid is for guys who are like top juniors.
Really?
Because they want to secure you.
Okay.
Because they see like value in you. But when you're like,
and
as soon as you're 22,
you weren't quite, the Kyrgios and Kokkinakis and stuff.
They got all the deals because
because you got
they
your
were
top
big time when they were 18.
Yeah. So then you have a bit of injury year, but you focus in on doubles, and then you have a full year of doubles. What does that look like? What's the prize money difference? Like a full year, good year of doubles where you're at 110. What's that prize money look like? It's way less, right, than the singles? But it's not way easier to get a big result, but.
So the doubles tour it's unique. It's different because you want to try and get a partner and you're juggling around and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But because I was pretty high in doubles already, and then I got a few results. I got inside like 250 decently quick, and I'm playing a full challenger schedule. And with challenges, which is different to futures, your hospitality is taken care of.
So really? So every player
free
in
hotel.
Yeah. So that's the secondary level. Says the top 200 in the world play in the majors, or qualifying for majors and the majors.
Yep.
And then you're on that next tour, the Challenger. Is that the next tour or the Masters?
Yeah. So it's like tour. So I feel like the tour event, tour and slams are kind of like combined.
Yeah,
and then
okay.
you've got challenger
Yeah.
features. So yeah, I was on a full-fledged challenger tour, and so what they have in like the fact sheet for the tournaments is for singles you get from Saturday to Wednesday or the day you lose, and then doubles you get Sunday until the day you lose, or Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay, combination.
But there's like a loophole. If you stay with your doubles partner, you get the whole week for free, regardless.
Okay, so you just would do that.
So I'm
staying
with my doubles partner every week, and we're just maxing out free ACOM, and you get free breakfast.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you get free lunch. So your expenses drop dramatically,
Yeah,
and you get picked up from hotels sometimes and airports. So like
that's
I think
cool feature for that secondary.
It's amazing. Like what they've done is great. And I basically worked out the year that I had my big 2014.
2024.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, 2024.
Yeah.
I paid for a week of accommodation overseas, and I was away for 37 weeks.
And what was your best result that year? It's like a doubles, and what was the prize money that year and expenses if you had it all?
Yeah. So I won 5 challenges.
So you won 5 of them in doubles.
Yeah, I won 2. Like,
so you got trophies and stuff. You're like a legit fucking winner on the tour.
It's
That's
funny.
sick.
It's funny perspective, because I was cleaning out my car the other day, and man, if you told me at 17 or 18 that I have a challenger trophy, I'd be so stoked.
Yeah.
And I was cleaning my car out, and I'm like, what's this box? And I open it, it's just a challenger trophy.
What's the check for a challenger win in doubles?
I was getting like $3,000 to $4,000 a week winning. So my expenses were dropping.
So what was like a winning? If you won, you get like 4,000. So like 8,000 for the team, and you get 4,000 each, or 4,000 for the team. You get 2,000
it was like
each?
7,000 for the team.
US, Aussie.
So
you get about $3,500.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was that year? How much did you win? Because I also want to I want to factor in coaching and stuff. But if you've got family as a coach, you probably got looked after, and that probably saves you so much along your career too.
Yeah, basically after that year, because I was so savvy, and like I wasn't leaking any money. I was net positive like 25 grand.
Okay, see.
Yeah.
So this is going to be such a blow for everyone listening right now. So you finish that year, you finally have your first year in the green. You've got this path ahead. Doubles is my thing. I'm moving up the rankings.
Yeah.
How'd the first Masters, that's like the Adelaide Open and shit. So it's like the Masters tour is like the world tour for surfing, but then they have 4 events. It's like golf. You have the PGA tour, but then you've got 4 events that are a little bit specialer, more money and stuff. But that's like, so you made it into the world tour basically from the Challenger. It's almost the exact same as surfing.
Pretty much, yeah.
So you make it into the world tour, and you get like a few events in Oz, and then there's the one major event in Oz.
Yep.
So how'd you go on that? Was it Brisbane Open and Adelaide?
So I played a lead-in in Canberra, which is like the top tier Challenger event.
Yeah.
Didn't do well there. And then I went to Adelaide and beat a good team. Like I think they were combined 110 in the world.
Yeah.
Beat them. Then we lost to the 3rd best team in the world in like the quarters or second round.
I see.
Close, but like our level's good. And then played Australian Open.
Qualies or main round?
So I played main draw doubles. There's no qualifying for doubles.
So there's no qualifying.
So I was in main draw for doubles.
What was the prize money in that?
Did
you get it stripped?
Yeah, I got stripped.
Fuck off. No way.
So
your biggest check ever for tennis, even just the first round quality of the major, and you got it stripped off you.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So you get like, I think I got 20 grand for Aussie Open, which is my biggest
10
check.
each.
No, I got 20 solo.
You would have got 20.
40 for the team.
And they stripped it off you.
So yeah, the part of the suspension was that
oh my God,
from the date I got my IV to when they conveniently interviewed me after my match, all 3 of those tournaments, prize money stripped. So it ended up equaling like 25 grand. Or 14,500 US.
Okay, so we're going to rewind a little bit to the end of 2024 now. You've had a big year, your best year ever in doubles.
Yep.
You follow this guy, me, on Instagram, and I just finished my 100K run, and I went to this IV place in Burleigh after my run. Legal IV, go and get an IV because, you're dehydrated, lack of fluid. So I went and got this IV, and Tom's like, oh, what's that place like? I was like, it's great. A few weeks later, he posts a story at this IV drip place because they look after him and say, if you chuck up a story, you can, have this IV for free. Over the counter, what everyone goes to, the busy place. But in the tennis rule book,
big but,
you can't have you can explain the rule that you breached.
Yeah.
So you can't have an IV over 100 mils. And the reason for that is because people take IV to flush out drugs when they do take them.
Yep.
So it's not actually about the IV, it's about precaution against people who do cheat. So yeah, talk me through you having no idea of why you got that IV, I guess.
Yeah.
Posting the story and then when you found out about it.
So I had massive year on tour, 37, 38 tournaments I played, and I could see the chance to be top 100 and to get into Aussie Open. So I played 12 out of the 13 last weeks. And I was bouncing around each country. It was like China, Japan.
So you're probably sick as a dog and you're like, I need some
I
IV fluid.
was running on fumes, man. I was so burnt out, and I won 3 of the last 5 or 6 challenges I played. So they're full weeks, and then like you win on a Saturday, and I'm flying Saturday night to the next place.
Yeah.
And I was so burnt out. And then when I won the last tournament in Japan, and that's why I reached out to the clinic.
As you probably said, you saw me be so fucked after my 100, and you're like, that's how I feel right now.
No, genuinely, I was running on fumes. And so I basically knew that I was kind of in a spot where I'd probably qualified for AO. And we have like 3 weeks off season before the next one. And I was so fatigued that there's been times where sometimes I get so fatigued, I'm in bed for like a week. And I was terrified that I was going to be underdone in my off season. And I wanted to use this season I just done to propel me to the next season. And then, you were like, oh, dude, I felt great after it. The run was sweet. I was like, oh, sick. Booked in. I told them I was a professional tennis player. I was playing the Australian Open. And they were like, yeah, we'll just give you like...
So do you feel like it was a bit of a fuck up on them? But it's not on them to know like every sports code of conduct.
Yeah.
But maybe they should know like that professional athletes who get drug tested can't have so much IV.
Yeah.
Have you spoken to them after it?
Nah. My lawyers told me not to talk to them. It's been a year of lawyers, which has been a new thing for me. But it's funny because I called another clinic. Mm-hmm. And I asked them, I was like, I'm a professional tennis player. Can I come in for a session? And they were like, oh, do you know there's a wider rule for tennis players?
So they did one.
And they knew straight away.
Okay.
So I was kind of like, that kind of sucks.
I mean, that sucks. But the thing is, for one, if you didn't post an Instagram story, you can't test for if you've had an IV, right? You didn't fail a drug test.
No, it was...
You literally, because you posted a story and somebody's screenshot it and dobbed you in.
Yeah.
That's why you... talk me through. You play these events. They must have, because this was a month or two before the first 3 events of the year, right?
Yeah.
And then you play your first round match at the Oz Open. You lose the match, you don't win it, and then get banned, right?
Lost it.
Okay,
lost it. Yeah.
But you got to play on the, the Australian Open, first time ever.
Yeah.
Representing your family, who's Grand Slam players.
Yeah.
And then tell me how that happens. Was it the first event you'd been... No, because you get drug tested at all the events,
I got drug tested like 15 times that year.
Okay, so you get drug tested all the time.
A lot. Yeah, I've always been a clean athlete, so I've never... it's annoying getting tested, but I was never like, I'm going to fail.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, playing the Australian Open was one of the happiest moments of my career, my life. Going to sleep that night before my match and just having my family down. I had like 2 of my best mates who flew down. And my coaches, just people who've known me since I was a kid were at this match. And man, going to sleep, I don't think I've ever had such a high going to bed before an event. And then the extreme high to the extreme low that I experienced in 24 hours, I'll never experience again. It's because as soon as like the realization of what was going on, when they started talking to me after my match, that I was kind of screwed, like I've never...
Yeah, so talk me about getting off the court after the match, how quickly this happened. Did you go see your family like, oh, well done, mate, like first major? Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, so lost a close one, came off court, and like when you're off court, the security try and rush your players off and get you like...
So the next ones can get
on. Oh, yeah, because people come around you for autographs and photos, and they kind of streamline you.
Oh, yeah, because you're not a main court, it's like the smaller court, so it's a bit easier access for people.
Exactly. You basically just walk into the crowd.
Yeah, and so you walk through. So security back, you're not going under the tunnel to your back of the court in the major stadiums.
Yeah. So I'm off court, and obviously my mom, my sister, and my mates are there, and my coach. Oh, that was, it's tough luck. That was great. Like, so it's amazing you're here. Like, it's not gonna be your last one, and all this kind of stuff. And I've got Jimmy, who apparently knew me when I was 5, and I've got this guy who coached me when I was 6, saying hi, mate, or like, whatever. So that was cool. And then you get streamlined off to the players only area, and I got taken to the anti-doping center, which is normal. And Yeah, pee in a cup, all good, no stress. And then as I'm leaving, two like undercover agents from ITIA go, "Oh, Mr. Fancutt, we need to talk to you." And I was like, "Oh, what's this about?" Like, "It's an investigation." And I'm like, "Oh, is it? Am I in another person's investigation?" And they're like, "No, it's you." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like panicking, so I have no clue what's going on.
Yeah.
And then and then they basically they take my phone and
They took your phone off you.
took my phone for 4 hours to download everything off my phone. And then I didn't even see my family properly yet. And then I'm walking off, and I couldn't even imagine how I looked, because I'm walking out of the locker room like a ghost, and then I see my coach.
Did they have your phone at that time, or you were just
Yeah, they
there
had it for 4 hours.
Oh, so you got to walk out while they had your phone, and you're like, "What the hell?" Are they fucking
Pure panic. And then they didn't tell me. They said it was
did they say it was about the IV?
they said it was an
thing?
investigation, but they couldn't tell me any specifics.
Well, yeah, fuck, what else is on my phone?
Yeah. I mean, who knows what's on the phone? But yeah, pure panic. And sitting down with my coach talking about it, and we're like, what could they possibly be? And then we're like, the only thing I've done different that could be dodgy is going to the clinic.
Oh,
And I was like, but like, how would they have any evidence on that?
And you're like,
And then he's
put up a
like,
story.
He's like, "You posted a story." And I was like, "Yeah, but it was up for like 24 hours." And then I had to go into an interview with them, and yeah.
Did they show you like the photo of the story in the interview? Were they like, "Oh, you had to confirm, is this you?" And you're like,
Yeah,
"Yeah,
yeah." So they were like, the interview was like, it was like a bluff for like half of it. They were just asking me like fluff questions, and
like,
I was
were you getting the IV to cover
like,
anything else up?
like, how's your year been, and like, how you joined the tour? I'm like, man, get to the point. Like, what's happening here? And then he starts getting into like, do you know what's in your system? Do you know are you batch testing the stuff you're on? What supplements you're taking? And I was like, oh, it's just creatine and friggin' vitamin C and maybe Armour Force.
Yeah.
And then they started like narrowing in on what it was.
Have you ever had an IV?
And then they asked me just point blank, have you had an IV? And then I didn't lie.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
And then they whip out a laptop, and they're like, is this your photo? And I'm like, well, obviously it's my photo. It's got
a bag with like 500. You can probably see.
It's got a bag in the back, but it's the start of it was the start of the IV, so it's full.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah. Basically, they had me, and they'll end the interview. They were like, look, you should get a lawyer because you're getting suspended. And I left that interview, and I'm walking back to see my family, and I'm in the Australian Open. Like, I'm in the players area.
Oh my God, bro.
My locker is next to Djokovic, Sinner, Zverev, like these top 10 players. I just walk past them. I'm just like, basically my whole world just like tipped upside down.
Oh my God, man.
I'm having to like act normal. And I'm in like this place.
I would have been fucking bawling my eyes out, I reckon.
No, yeah. I was in this place where I dreamed of being. And then I'm walking out.
You felt like it turned into a night. It was like one of those probably nightmares that you couldn't escape from.
It was like a living nightmare. Yeah, it was.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Talk me through the rest of that day. How was it telling your family and stuff?
So I told them all, and my mum's panicking, and one of my best mates is like nearly in tears, and because I had like another 2 or 3 days where I could beat the Australian Open on my accreditation, and they were like, we have to get out of here. Yeah. So it was. Yeah, it was almost like I didn't think it was real what was happening.
Bet.
And then I flew out the next flight the next morning, and came home and was just trying to come to grips with everything that was going to happen.
Fuck, man, that is just like, I feel for you so much. I feel so bad to it. Not because of me, but the IV that you saw me post about inspired you.
I'm the worst criminal ever because I didn't know I was breaking a rule.
Well, that's the thing.
I posted the story.
Taught me, yeah, exactly. You literally dobbed yourself in. If you didn't post that story, you don't get banned for you lose your ranking, you don't get all these things that you're about to tell us happen to you.
Yeah.
So talk me through the next stages of that ban, because, there's quite a few things in the media of, with tennis, of, Sinner getting a 3-month ban for failing 2 drug tests. You didn't even fail a drug test.
No.
You took an IV after being fatigued, which they don't like people doing because it's a way that cheaters get filtered out.
Yep.
What did they say to you? What was that next step? And then, like, it just fucking makes no sense that he got 3 months for failing 2 drug tests and you get a year. Like,
yeah. So I never failed a drug test. I did plenty, never failed them. But what I did was a banned method. And because I was super compliant with them, I told that I said that I would release my records, the IV clinic. I wasn't holding anything back. And they basically, it was vitamin B, C, magnesium.
It was a clear, honest mistake.
There was nothing that I was cycling through my body. It was clean. And all I got was probably a good night's sleep. It's basically it. And then, so like, yeah, thank you for being compliant. And yeah, they were just like, yeah, we can tell that you're a nice guy. It's pretty obvious that you didn't know you're breaking the rule because you posted a story. Worst criminal ever. And then we know now from the clinic that what you had was clean. So the offer we're giving you is 2 years.
2 years they offered you a ban. Your career over, basically.
It's over. It's over. Your career's over 2 years. And I'm like in pure shock.
Is this over like
it's over email? Over email.
Over email?
Yeah. And well, I'm like, absolutely not. And then I was super lucky that the Players Association of Tennis provided me with lawyers to help me with my fight. Yeah. And so all the communication went through those lawyers, and they basically asked, like, what do you think is fair? And then the whole Sinner thing was going on at the time, and I was like 3 months, like Sinner.
And in the off season?
Yeah. No, I said like I want 3 months. Yeah. In
a 3 month,
a super convenient time like he got. And they're like, absolutely not. And then, it was just months of back and forth. And then,
but in this month, you're already banned. So it's like,
yeah. So it was all hush hush at this time. So I hadn't accepted a pre-suspension yet because they were doing all this like paperwork on their side of things. So 2 months were just like messing around. I was just waiting. And my lawyers are pressing. They're like, Tom's ready to say, yes, let's get this thing rolling. We want this to count towards his suspension this time. And they were kind of messing around. And then even at the time, it like got leaked pretty much that I got suspended. And there were all these rumors going around the tennis world that I was match fixing, which is a crime. And like that I was cycling drugs, that all these rumors are going around. And I wasn't commenting on it because, I just didn't see it.
Because you've just played your first tournament, then you're not playing any of them straight away. So everyone's starting to go like, what happened to Thomas?
Exactly. I'm 107 in the world. And there was even in the Australian circuit, there's tournaments after Australian Open in Brisbane, my home, and I wasn't playing. And everyone's like, something's wrong with Tom, something's sus.
And didn't they offer you less off your sentence if you snitched on other players who you thought might be a doping that led to a suspension?
Yep. I got offered to give them assistance on other cases with players. And I told them, like, as much as I want to help myself, I was never in those circles and I didn't know what was going on. Like, I'd never failed a drug test, never in that world. It's crazy because it was really tough to find out that I was in the predicament I was because another player screenshotted my story and sent it to World Doping to assist his case, and he got a reduction because of assisting ITIA, and that's why. And then I got offered the same thing, and I said no. My lawyer's like, you sure? Like, you can help you get a reduction? And I was like, no, I got nothing, and I don't want to do anything anyway.
Yeah, that's just like the most like. Oh man, I feel so much for you. When I heard that, I was shattered. So what does the ban mean? It's not just like, what's something that the fans wouldn't know? It's not just you can't compete for a year. It's stripping all of your points. So you go back to a junior, no points.
Yeah.
You tell me what you can't do. You can't go to your family's tennis center.
Yeah. So, basically, because I was going to be inactive for a year, my ranking was just going to slowly die off and drop. I couldn't play anything. And then I got fined all that prize money. So
you lost that 25 grand of.
Well, I've still got it. I have to pay back 25 grand. So I'm doing a payment plan.
Oh, so they gave you the prize money, but they're like, no, you don't actually get it. That's your fine.
That's your exact fine.
Oh, so your exact fine is all the prize money from your biggest 3 events.
Yeah.
What dickheads?
Like, yeah, it's brutal. Like, I was trying to argue.
Or was it events since the photo of the IV?
Those 3 events, yeah.
Was it the 3 events after the photo? So anything after the photo of the IV, they deemed as like.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So 25 grand. And then, the restrictions were brutal. I couldn't hit with any pros because it get them in trouble and me in trouble. I couldn't hit on any tennis courts that were insured by Tennis Australia, which is 99% of them. So I could only hit on private courts. So if you had a court in your backyard, I could hit on it.
Why can't you hit on a tennis court? It's just a normal person.
I'm a world doping criminal or something. So, and then like I knew kids that, I'm like, okay, I'm not playing tournaments, but I can support kids I know and all that. I wasn't allowed at any tournaments.
So you couldn't go and
Junior
like
event.
coach any kids, like, so it wasn't just like you lost anything to do with tennis for a year.
I wasn't allowed at my home base where I trained for like 8-10 years at KDV.
Fuck. How was that for you? How's the mental health through this stage?
It was tough. It was tough. Because I wasn't allowed to like go to my home, which was like a tennis center and tennis courts. And, people were saying some super nasty things. I was getting messages from people saying, oh, I'm an embarrassment to Australia and I'm an embarrassment to my family and to all this stuff. And that was probably one of the ones that cut me out the most was the thought of like embarrassing my family kind of crushed me a bit.
Because it's something so innocent and like there's people out there who are cheats and it's like
the thought of like embarrassing or tarnishing my family's name really like upset me. So
how did they take it? Like your grandparents and
my grandparents
uncles and stuff once you explain what happened?
Yeah, they'd passed away a few years ago, so they didn't experience that. But like my family were like, they were fine with it. They were just like, you made a mistake and you just got to cop the punishment.
I know, yeah.
But yeah. So I was just I felt like people were avoiding me in the tennis world because I was just like, if you had any association, with me, it was like bad.
Yeah, you're getting like investigated like you were.
Yeah, everyone was scared to talk to me because like they would get investigated or something. So I was like on this island. And I literally, it got to the point when everything kind of really dropped that I couldn't handle it anymore because everyone was looking at me like I was a sick puppy, like I was injured or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't handle it. So I actually went to Bali for 10 days, deleted my social media for a week. I didn't look at my phone for a full week, just reading books and working out like crazy at this Nirvana gym and just full detox. And then, came home and then even when I accepted the suspension, they publicly announced it the first time and it went crazy. A friend of mine was in Germany and he's like, mate, you're all over German media right now. You're being banned. Like, what's going on? They're saying you're like full on doping. And I'm like, what do you mean I'm in German news? He's like, mate, you're all over the place here. And then I'm freaking out. And then it starts hitting like Australian media. And all they're saying is the only reason people use IVs are for chemical and physical manipulation, to dope. And like all the three reasons were just so bad. And I'm like, and then I call my best mate, I call my mom, and I'm like, I have to say something. I know everyone's telling me to be quiet, but I have to say something because what's being spread is wrong. And I got nothing to hide. Like I made an honest mistake. I'm not dirty.
Yeah. I've passed every drug test through my whole career. Since that moment, I've been drug tested.
I've always been
fucking every week.
I've always been proud to be a clean athlete. And then so I was sitting on Burley Hill and I'm just writing out this thing to put on my Instagram, and I wrote my truth about the suspension. And then my best mate was like, "Look, man, right now in the little tennis world, they know about it and it's spreading. But once you put this on your socials, it's gonna go like everyone's gonna know. It's up to you, man." And then I was like, it's going to get spread regardless. I'd rather it be the truth.
In front of it, yeah.
Yeah, and then once I posted it, it went nuts. And yeah, Channel 7, 9, Career Mail, Daily Mail.
Yeah, what were they writing? Was it any sort of
well, it was the truth. It was just cuts of my quotes.
Yeah, okay.
So
like I had no idea. I didn't get done for... I didn't fail a drug test. I got done for...
Yeah, it was... The truth is being spread, and it was getting spread like... Yeah, it was a... My mom's calling me like every hour. New article. Yeah. The Daily Mail.
So you kind of at least defended yourself a little bit through that period, but still like...
Yeah, at least like the truth came out, and then just getting my head around, because I want to try and make money, and
you can't work in tennis. Yeah, what have you done the last year for like money? And
the loophole that I got confirmed with the ITIA was that I could work at private courts. So there were these courts attached to a gym that were insured by the gym and not by TA, and the kids that were there were not pros.
Okay.
So I was able to coach kids at private courts, basically.
Yeah.
And that was my job Monday to Friday, and I was super lucky that that community of people there in Brisbane that I was coaching, that they were so supportive. And I was at a time where I was
so down.
Yeah, I was in a dark place, and and they were so supportive, and they actually kind of really lit the fire in me and the love again for tennis, because just like trying to make these kids better, and they were looking at me with these big eyes, and everything I said was gold. And it was like the type of coaching where it's not like they're not going to listen, it's they're going to listen too much. So you can't overload their brain. So I was going to bed every night, like thinking, how can I make these kids better?
How can I make it a really simple instruction?
Yeah,
It's probably making it easier.
and I
Once
was
you can
loving
explain
that.
something better, it makes it easier for you to probably play.
Yeah, so I was loving that. So, and then I was attached to a gym, so I was working out like crazy. You know, like those things about post breakups and people like lift like crazy.
Yeah.
Man, that was me with this whole thing. I was working out with no headphones, like just straight lifting. I took it a little too serious, I got a little too big, but that kind of
And still playing.
No, I wasn't.
You didn't play
all
tennis
all I did was hit with like 12 to 15-year-old kids.
But you still swung a racket, so
my eye was in, but I wasn't hitting.
So let's talk about now, I guess, the last couple of months. When we're recording this, your band lifted like a week ago, 10 months.
Yeah.
I want to talk about actually really quickly throughout the year, because we hung out throughout the year. You also have to give them your whereabouts every single minute of every single day for the whole year, right? And probably for more years to come now.
Yeah, most likely.
And they can randomly knock on your door at any time and come and drug test you, right?
Yeah, so I got an app. I'm on a whereabouts app where a lot of top tour players are on, and then just people who are on like therapeutic exemptions for certain things, and then guys coming back from suspensions. Where I have to check in every day, and I have to give them an hour time slot every day that I'm going to be at a certain place. Yeah. So they usually say like 11 p.m. or like 5 a.m.
when you know you're going to be somewhere where you're staying that night.
Exactly. So you have to do that every day. And
how many times this year have they come and knocked?
Only once.
Only once in the year since the suspension?
So they rock up at 5 a.m. My mom's full. I'm staying at my mom's place, and she's full panicking. They're here. And, pee in a car, just awkward. All that.
Watch it, hey?
Yeah, they're very close.
Pull it out.
They're like, where this microphone is? They're like, so yeah, I like it only once. A lot of guys get drug tested like crazy. But,
yeah. So the thing is, they probably don't even suspect you of being a drug test. They just needed like a distraction from what happened with their world number one, and that they just swept under the rug.
Yeah, they got swept.
So talk me through the last couple of months then, preparing for your comeback. What are you excited about? You just had your first event back. Tell me the difference of playing like at Tweed Head's little local courts in your first comeback and winning like $400 or $500 or whatever, compared to, your last event before that was the Australian Open. So yeah, how's the training coming into restarting the season been for you? And how's that first event?
So I was kind of like, when it hit, maybe I was like 5 months away from getting back. I was over the hump. I kind of sat down. I was like, all right, I want to come back as strong, fit, and good. I'm more body wise. Like, how strong and fit can I be? Like, this is amazing. I've got a 6-month training block. Like, I've never had this in my career. Like, let's max this.
Yeah, because you're normally training enough to be able to play.
Yeah, exactly.
And
you're
not like pushing, getting as strong as possible.
I was like, let's use this as like, this is my 6-month training block. I full chat GPT, like daily thing. I've got like bits and pieces from people and just my experience how to get good and fit. And I set it out. And I actually remember I read it in my journal the other day. This whole thing about this is like consistency is only cool at the end, not during. I wrote all this like this big passage, and like now's my time to be consistent. And at the end, I wrote 197 days to go. And when I wrote that down, I was like, that's so many days. But to my credit, I was super consistent, and I was working like a dog in the gym, and I wasn't hitting until about working like a tennis coach, working like a dog in the gym. I'm sauntering. I'm doing everything right. And I've been so consistent for 6 months, which I'm really proud of myself for doing. And eventually I started implementing actually hitting from about 3 months to go into my suspension. And then I finished up coaching last week of November.
Yeah.
Because from November 18, the last 2 months of my suspension, I'm able to, everything's been lifted for my training. I can train with pros. I can train at tennis centers, but I can't be at events.
Okay.
So I started training again, and my coach was, pumped for me to be back. I was able to go back to KTV again, which I'd been banished from. And then, I came back. I was heavy. I was like 96 kilos.
How was it walking back in the door for the first time at KTV? Do you feel like judged and stuff?
I hadn't been in a tennis center since, I hadn't been in a tennis center for like 8-9 months. And, it was, I mean, they're like my family at KTV. So they were super welcoming, but it felt weird.
Yeah, wow.
And then, I'm lucky down the Gold Coast, there's a lot of good pros. So I'm able to spar and like practice and I'm trying to drop my put on a little too much muscle. So I'm trying to drop my weight. So my playing weight could be like 88, 90. So I'm cutting on my diet's really clean. And
now you're starting with 0 ranking points. So you can't even do what was the first one? The futures. You can't even do them. What's your steps now to get into the futures? The fastest way to get into that?
Yeah. Well, to get to the end of the question though, with the Tweed Open. So everything put together, and then, I looked at the AMT, the money schedule for the Australian tournaments, and I was looking at my coach. I was like, there's like a 3K open in Tweed Heads. He's like, mate, you're not playing a 3K. It's a waste of your time. I was like, mate, it's 500.
That's just kind of good local tennis players.
Yeah, it's the lowest open event you can play in Australia.
Lowest thing that you can.
Yeah, if you're a good,
go and play against some good tennis players.
Yeah, if you're a good social player, you'll play it. Yeah, it's a bit of fun and meet decent juniors and stuff.
Yeah,
and he's like, mate, you're gonna make positive 450, and I was like, I want to compete.
Yeah,
I'm desperate to compete. I don't care what it is. He's like, man, it's up to you. You do it. And then I enter the tournament, and because I have 0 ranking, I couldn't even get into that tournament. So they had to wild card me into the tournament, which is it's the pits as low as it gets. And then the wild card seeded me 1 because the guy knew my previous history. And then came out and I felt like a kid again, being on the court. I'm playing this kid who's probably 16 and he's it just
can play tennis, but
he can play tennis,
not when he's playing against a guy who's
and also
top 100 in the world a year ago.
Yeah, I'm hungry. And then I think I lost 5 points the whole match.
You won 6-love, 6-love.
6-love, 6-love, and then that was one day for the match.
Yeah.
And I'm in the quarters, and then I play I was already in the quarters.
So
and then because it was a smaller tournament, I played the semis and final the next day, and then I went 6-love, 6-love, and then the final 6-love, 6-love.
So that's the golden
tournament.
You didn't lose a single game, so you broke every one of their serves and won every one of your serves.
Yeah, I didn't even face a game point. I was so locked in and just. I've been training with really good pros, so I was ready, and then I couldn't explain it. I was so happy to be able to compete.
Yeah,
I didn't back. If you put me there 3 years ago and played that tournament, I would have been miserable.
Really?
Yeah, but this time, miserable because this is not. I shouldn't be.
This isn't my level.
My level's
all right.
Yeah.
So what's now the trajectory? How do you get back in? Can you get back to where you were in a year? Is that the goal within 12 months? Can you get back onto the Challenger or back into the Masters?
Yeah. So right now I've got another money tournament, which is a bit bigger. It's a 20K.
Yeah.
So this has got a mix of. There's probably 5 or 6 guys who are pro ranked.
Yeah.
And then
there's 1,800 pro ranked.
Yeah. It's there's 2 guys top 1,000 and another guy 1,400. Okay. So they can play. They're good. And then
but you'll go
really good juniors
as a wild card.
So I got wild carded, seeded 3.
Okay. So the 2 guys top 1,000, they sit above you. But But you should give it a pretty good run for that money, that event.
Well, I've beaten both guys.
Yeah.
So but that was a while ago. Who knows? But so the reason I'm playing these is obviously just get the matches back and that exposure, and then a bit of coin, and also winning maybe 2 or 3 or 4 more matches will verify my world ranking, because my national ranking and my world ranking. And once that's verified, then I can get into these pro tournaments overseas.
Okay.
So I haven't been in a situation since I was probably
starting
13.
In the first round at Futures.
Yeah, I'm qualifying.
At Futures.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Oh, well, you just got to work on your cardio because you're going to have some long tournaments to get back to where you want to go, but you get heaps of matches under you.
This first few months,
are you going to focus back on the doubles again and try and quickly, is it quicker to build your ranking in that, or do you need kind of a singles ranking to even get a shot at the double?
Yeah, exactly. So it's actually tricky to get in doubles at the start. You have to have a singles ranking or the draw has to not fill out. So yeah, I won't even get into doubles.
So you got to be in the top 800 in singles before you can even get a go in the doubles in the...
At the Futures, if you're ranked, you get in.
Okay.
So the dream start for me would be, I get into the tournament, luckily, with my whatever ranking I have. I go through 3 rounds of qualies and I win my first round and I get my pro ranking back.
Yeah.
And then that comes on 2 weeks later. So for the first tournament, no doubles. Second tournament, no doubles. Third tournament, I might be able to get into doubles with my new ranking.
Okay.
That's a dream start.
So the dream start's, to get it through the first round of main round in your first event and then you get back in.
Yep.
But you'll be playing like probably some of the top seeds in the.
Yeah, who knows? Like I could play the number 1 seed because the draw's done and it's like Q spot, Q spot, Q spot,
Yeah.
Q spot. So that's done randomly.
you
So I
could
could
get
play a
like
guy
a-
who's 250 in the world,
Yeah,
and it's like great. He'll be pissed. He's playing someone
that used
like
to be
that
out there. Yeah,
because it's gonna be funny. I was saying to my mates,
some people are going to get some shit draws getting you in them.
but it's funny because like so if we play each other first round, it's just natural that I'm gonna look at your ITF world ranking and I'm going to see your last tournament and just see like how you've been. This poor kid that I'm going to play at this pro event in wherever I end up in qualies is going to go, oh, who the hell is Tom Fancutt? Click on my profile, and the last tournament I have is the Australian Open. Like,
yeah, but then he'll look up your name and be like,
yeah, it'll just deep dive it, and then yeah,
Oh man,
it's natural to do that. You see who you're playing.
yeah. Well, I'm bloody excited for the comeback, and I'm sure everyone listening is going to be following along the journey because it's cool to see you keeping a positive outlook. Like so many people probably would have just like quit at that stage when you got at your age, but got that ban. But you're like, nah, it was undeserved. The punishment was way gnarlier than it should have been, and it's going to be cool to see the comeback. There's two last things I want to talk about.
Yep.
One thing that fascinates me, and I've spoken to you about this a lot, and this is something that a lot of fans wouldn't know about tennis. You can bet on anything from any money tournament, or
So
pretty much from the
no
what do we say,
national
the futures.
Yeah, every
Every
pro
from these
event,
futures,
yeah.
the Masters, and the
There's odds every match.
you can bet on like these.
Yeah.
Not to say to you, but like no name tennis players playing these low rank, like 1,000 to 2,000 ranked tennis players in the world playing against each other.
Yeah.
Something that fans probably wouldn't know. Because of that, you cop so much abuse from gamblers who either win or lose. Who lose money on you for either betting for or against you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk me through that. Talk me through a story of something that's just like this.
Yeah. So yeah, once you get into the futures and like establish and playing, like I would probably on average I'd probably get 5 messages after a match if I lost, like death threats, like I'm gonna come find you and kill you. I hope you break your arm. I hope you get COVID and die. Like I open my phone and it's just like, yep, cool, yep, sweet. Comment on my photo
from people all around the world.
Yeah, and it's like broken English. It's Russian. It's all this
you can
stuff.
gamble all around the world on all the tennis matches.
Yeah, basically
any country that you can gamble.
When I was established, every match I play was bet on.
Wow.
And I had a friend who actually worked, like his sister or brother or something, worked at a betting company, and he told me that one of my matches I played in China, on Betfair, you could see how much money was waged on the match. I was playing a challenger match, and there was just on this one app, there was like $1.8 million of money.
Just on your match?
Totally bet on one match.
On your match or someone's
on
match?
My match that I was playing. So him to win or me to win. There was $1.8 million, and that's one of like 9 big betting apps.
And that's just like a
It was like a second round challenger
match.
Yeah.
So there's that much money being bet on these all around the world on every match.
Insane. And then I was like pretty open with it. Like I read, and they got to the point where it's almost like a rite of passage getting your first message of you suck.
Really? So all your tennis players get it?
It's
Everyone,
like,
if you talk about it, look at this one.
Some get more, but everyone gets it. And like it's like a rite of passage. Like, oh, hey, I got my first like you suck. Like sick. Like I made it. And I started putting something like on my social media, and I had parents and coaches message me like, you need to take that down. Kids look up to you, and we don't want to discourage them from playing tennis because, they're getting death threats and stuff. And I was like, well, I mean, it's what happens. Like, why hide it from them? Obviously I'd blur out like the worst ones. Like,
did you ever at all, when you were being brought up through Tennis Australia and like mentorship, get warned about that?
You get told that like you get messages from a betting company because they make an account and they write something to you, and then like I'll block and delete it or report it, whatever, and they just make a new one.
Yeah.
Like you can't really.
Yeah, you can't block it.
I've been on the tour for 10 years, and for 10 years I've gotten them. So
yeah,
they've tried each year to like come up with new stuff, social media protection, but it's just they just can't do it.
Fuck, that's so brutal.
I've had people in person like write me off.
Really?
For gambling. I remember like it was crazy. I remember being like 20, and my first trip overseas to Europe, and I played in Dubai. I lost first round. Probably I should have won that match. And then I flew to Serbia. I didn't tell anyone I was going to this club. A guy was bringing me, and I walk in the door of the club. I'm like, oh, this cafe is cool. And this guy's like, Thomas Fancutt. I'm like, this Serbian accent. He's like, how do you lose your match last week? I bet so much money on you to win. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, looking at my mate, like, is this happening right now? Like, and it's just like straight to my face. And then I just like, well, I was like, sorry, man. Like, I tried. What do you mean?
Oh my
Never met
God.
him before. And no one knew I was going. I was like, okay, so this is what world tennis is like. Okay, I didn't realize that.
Wow. So it's just, the gambling behind the scenes.
Gambling
is crazy.
It's really big in the sport.
Yeah. Wow. Do you ever like look at the odds of your matches and be like,
Yeah.
fuck, they should be, I should be more favourite on this, or like
No,
vice versa? Or you like,
always. I would go through phases where I'd look at it every time and I'd be like, oh, I'm not favorite. Okay, that's all I need.
oh, I'd feel you.
It'd be like Michael Jordan, like, oh, that's all I needed. And then like sometimes I'd be like, oh, I'm actually like clear favorite to win. I'd be tight.
Oh yeah, true. So make it the other way.
Yeah. So then
you just start,
and then like my coaches and my family like stop looking at your odds.
what people think you're gonna bet.
Yeah. So then I because it's everywhere. Like it's SofaScore, every app. Like you look up Thomas Fancutt on Google and it's got odds up, and I'm like, nah, everywhere. I'd like turn my phone off.
That's fucked. Yeah, gambling's just such a stupid thing.
Yeah. Like so, even this third tournament I'm playing. So I played this first one. This third tournament I'm playing is a UTR Pro event.
Yeah.
So it's not, I don't get pro points for it, but pro players play and it's good money. But UTR have an agreement with a gambling company, so all these matches will be bet on.
Wow.
So I'm probably gonna get my first like "you suck" message. So I'm excited for it.
No, but the thing is, even if you win, you get "you suck" messages because they bet on the other person.
No, because I didn't win. Like easy enough.
They'll be like, you should have put on the bet on the line of like
you lose less than 5 games.
Yeah.
So I win like 6-4, 6-4, and they're like, I just lost 2,000 pounds on you.
You're like, well, you're an idiot.
I even had a guy message me. He was like, it was like most sincere message ever. He's like, hey man, tough one today. Like I was backing you. I actually put $200 on you. Here's my BSB and account number. Can you just send me the money, please? Then my last $200.
I was like, were you going to send me money if you won, you dickhead?
Well, how are you sending that message to me thinking that's cool?
Oh my God, some people are crazy. But man, thank you so much for sharing this story. I know you haven't gone on any other podcasts to share this yet. So
no,
thank you for giving me the first tell-all. I'm looking forward to, hopefully other people giving you the chance to share your story and asking some different questions as well, because I know there's such a complex sort of last couple of years that you've gone through. I'm sure some people in the tennis world can probably ask some questions a bit different to me. But I feel like it was really nice to get to hear your journey through tennis, because it really set the context up of how much that really would have hurt, because of how big of your family. Like that just added a whole layer of the, shame and the emotions that must have come with, getting that tap on the shoulder. But yeah, also the kind of insides and out of, I guess, the doping when it comes to tennis, the unfair treatment that I feel like you got.
Yeah.
But one, because you got dobbed in by another guy who got, time off his sentence. For two, that because you wouldn't snitch on someone, you got a longer sentence. And for three, that the world number one failed 2 drug tests. Yeah. Not just failed one. Failing one is, okay, maybe it was whatever they said it was, something in the cream, all right, and then massage cream.
Yeah, it was a cut.
And then it was the second.
Some steroid got into his blood, yeah.
But to fail 2
on-site tests, yeah.
On-site after probably fucking winning an event, and then to get 3 months, and for you to have taken an IV after pushing yourself so hard for the year that you need to replenish some fluids, and you've passed every other test, like to get the punishment you got, like, I don't know, hopefully there's some people in tennis listen to this and they're like, yeah, that was bullshit. But hopefully this was a good chance for you to, not clear your name, but to tell your story so people understand, the sort of person you are, how big of a hit that was to you mentally, emotionally, financially, socially. Everything in your life crumbled when you were at the absolute top of the mountain. Like you literally fell off the pinnacle of your kind of life. So yeah, thank you for giving me the chance to share the story. Thanks for, the good times we've had over the last couple of years. We're going to go play golf this summer. It's going to be fun too. Yeah. And is there anything I didn't touch on today that you feel like is worth sharing? Anything, you'd want to say to sort of your younger self before the sort of scandal? Read the doping books a bit better and understand the ins and outs?
I mean, it's funny because I told a fair amount of people that I was actually getting an IV and no one said to check the rule book or anything. So like my mom was like you should, like, what would you done differently? And I was like, to be honest, I would have done the exact same thing over again, because I did tell people I was getting the IV and no one was like, probably should fact check that, because once this thing come out, so many pro players reached out to me and they're like, didn't know IVs were a banned thing. And I'm like, yeah, great.
So you literally had a bunch of players that you could have probably snitched on, hypothetically.
No, I don't know if they took it, but like they didn't know the rule.
Well, that's what. Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like, there's all these other ones that probably have done IVs and not posted something on their socials.
Yeah.
There's probably been ones who have posted on their socials but didn't have another countryman have them on social media and,
Yeah.
you know, screenshot and send it to try and snitch on them. Like,
Yeah.
you fucking got the shittest end of the deal there, man. But
I got torched, but I'd say the only other thing I probably want to talk about is just that, this year, I'm like, you've probably seen that. I was literally talking to you when I released my first video on documenting my comeback. I'm just leaning into just one, I was very inspired by the kids I was coaching because they want to go pro and also, and like just kind of telling them what it's like and show, like, because there's a lot of good about the tour. Like, you get to travel the world. It's amazing. Some of the tournaments are unbelievable. The people are amazing. And I just want to be like my authentic self and just really show the behind the scenes of the tour. And it's been received so nice already on my socials. And I'm just going to do it. I reckon for a year, like I'm just going to be full, like behind the curtain, you know, my insecurities, my triumphs, I'm going to tell them like how much money I make each week. I'm going to show these messages I get on Instagram. Like, I'm going to give everyone the full look at what the tour is like, and I hope my personality is likable. So I'm super excited for that. And because it's funny, like even telling people like, oh, I'm going to Egypt to start my pro tour journey. They're like, what do you mean you're going to Egypt to play tournaments? I'm like, in the tennis bubble, it's normal, but to everyone in regular life, it's not really that normal.
Yeah.
I'm like, then I'll probably go to Tunisia, and then I'll probably go to South Africa. And then they're like, explain this to me. That's why I was like, you know what, I'm just going to document it all.
Sick. Yeah, well, going off that, if you are still listening to the podcast, you've made it this far, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you go follow Tom on Instagram. What's your Instagram? At Thomas.Fancutt?
Yeah, I think it's just Thomas.Fancutt.
Thomas.
Yeah.
I will leave in the show notes a link to your social media. So go follow Tom. It's going to be really cool to see. Your year is really cool. You posted that first video, so I'm going to show behind the scenes. And your second video is you winning that first event. So, really positive stuff. It's going to be cool to sort of, see behind the scenes, see the comeback and see you get hopefully back into that, you know, top 100 in the doubles to be able to go, you know, make some of those finals and make some of that, you know, money and reputation and show your family name, you know, that third generation's a top contender as well.
Well, my biggest goal, it's been a goal since I was a child, was I want to be the 6th Fancutt to play Wimbledon.
Wow.
I think Australian Open was amazing. And like,
would have you got to, let's do a hypothetical, you didn't get your drug ban at the start of, after the Oz Open, was your year planned that you were going to be playing in all 4 of the majors probably and all of the Masters events for your doubles?
Not sure Masters are very tough to get into.
Also, it's hard. Oh, you were saying it's hard to get into
smaller draws.
So the majors are actually, so you got to play good in the majors to then you get into the Masters big events.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Well, that's your opportunity sometimes.
Yeah, well, especially in doubles, the draws are like the cut. So, for example, the cut from thousands are usually like 70 combined, and Australian Open was 160 combined.
Okay. So it's combined. It's like you're ranked 20th and his is ranked 50th.
Yeah, if you're
so
70, I'm 70, or 71, we're 141, whatever.
Okay. So what were you were personally 107?
So I was 107, but I was in a spot where I was going to play bigger events week in, week out.
Yeah.
So the points were much bigger.
Yeah.
I pretty much, there's not a doubt that I would have played all 4 slams.
Wow.
So like that like, so obviously the shame of like, you know, my family name, and then I knew that I was going to play Wimbledon that year, and I worked so hard. I would write in my journal, I'm going to play Wimbledon, and like my screensaver will be Wimbledon. And, you know, I've got like a teddy bear that my grandmother gave me from Wimbledon when I was like 8. Like I still have that. I have a Wimbledon towel in my room. Like it's everything to me. And
2027, Thomas Fancutt, Wimbledon. You heard it here first.
Yes, that's going to happen. That's I'm in the middle of not having like a realistic brain. I'm going to have like the no goal is too big kind of mindset, and just delusional confidence. So I'm going to 2027, I'm playing Wimbledon. That's for sure.
Let's go. Well, man, it's been a pleasure getting to learn your story, getting you to give you a platform to share it. Hopefully, you know, everyone watching right now or listening can go follow your journey and see the comeback, because everybody loves a good comeback story, especially when someone's been like unfairly treated. I think you can get around it even more. So go check out everything. I finished Good Humans with the same question for everyone. So what does being a good human mean to Thomas Fancutt?
Off the top of my head, I'd probably say just being like nice and respectful to everyone. Doesn't matter what position they are or how you see them, if they're super wealthy or they have a super good job or something like that. Because especially in the tennis world, if I see a player who's top 100 and he treats a guy 5 in the world the same as he treats someone who's unranked, I'm like, that is like a super good show of you. So you're just a good dude. So I think valuing everyone on the face level, I think is off the top of my head. I think that I look at that and I'm like, that's a good dude.
I love that. I totally agree. There are those people that you can see act differently around different people, and we all do to a certain extent, but there's nothing better than when you see those people who don't matter who you are. A great example for me with that is Fisher. Like, he could, not say hi to fans and stuff and not give people the time of day, but for me, I've got, so many good friends who will come catch up and he'll remember who they are and ask them how they've been and ask them like about their friends. Like, he gets to know people.
Yeah, like, that's unreal. Like,
and that's what I see is that what you've really just said there as a good human soul. And it doesn't matter if you've done big things or not, they'll just ask you how you are.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's super cool.
Yeah, man, it's been a great chat. I will leave everything in the show notes for people to have a listen. If you've enjoyed this chat, make sure you hit the like or subscribe button, hit follow. I've just got new cameras, so if you're watching on YouTube,
setup's legit.
Thank you guys for checking it out. If you're not watching on YouTube, make sure you go to the show notes and subscribe to YouTube if you get a chance to watch the video. We have new higher quality stuff on YouTube, 3 angles. It's been an absolute pleasure getting to do this episode. We're going to go play some golf. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.